the most hatred that I've ever experienced in my life is with myself.
I think there is some insecurity where you're with somebody and you're latching onto them and you're using them as a crutch against loneliness.
I've known a lot of people who have constantly been with somebody, maybe multiple relationships, but they've never been alone. So when I try to tell them how I feel, they just don't get it.
I'm at a place where I'm fine choosing to be alone over choosing to be with the wrong person. Only take advice from people who are in a position that you want to be in.
I feel like I would just taint it and I would ruin the relationship. And that's how I felt like in the past too.
One of the problems with people who are chronically depressed is they don't reach out to other people because they don't want to be a burden on anybody.
When you got a bunch of burdens, you got to let the bird out. Live from a book on tape, it's the Socially Awkwards podcast. I am me, and he is you, and we are the Socially Awkwards. Welcome to the pod. Today, we continue our episode from last week on love and pain and everything in between. But before we get to that, you, Mr. Brandon, I know we're going to have a different version of hot takes later, a little swap take or hot swap or whatever we're calling it. But I have a bonus hot take right now, and I want to see what you think of it. And it's not anything funny. It's a straight up opinion of mine. And I wonder if I feel like it's going to be against the norm.
Okay.
And that is, I don't really care about the Avatar movies. I don't really care.
That's crazy.
Oh, am I? Oh, yeah. I don't really care.
You know,
I watched the first one. You know what? I think it was I think it was the fact that they were like, yeah, we're going to do all these. And they did the first one, and then what? They took like 12 years or something to do the second one. And maybe by that time, it just waned. My attention waned, and I didn't care anymore.
I'm right there with you. I don't care about the Avatar movies either. I think that they are. I think it's a waste of. What's the director's name? James Cameron.
James Cameron.
I think it's a waste of his potential to have focused so much money, time, and energy on these movies specifically, when he's already shown that he's so great at doing so many other things. And yeah, but he's been laser focused on this Avatar project. And I agree. I mean, I think they've made good money. The box office, I'm pretty sure, has been.
I was just looking at the lifetime gross of movies. I was trying to figure out what movie had the highest lifetime gross, and it is Avatar.
Yeah,
or the worldwide lifetime gross.
Yeah, they do well overseas, don't they?
Yeah, and I'll tell you what. I think here's one way it'll get you and me back. If the Terminator rises up from, whatever planet they're on now, or I don't even know if they're on the same planet. I don't know. I know they're going to all the other stuff with the water and the fire and all that stuff, but
yeah,
it's too much for me. I can't. Later on in life, if they're on regular TV or whatever, I'll be like, all right, I'll give them a chance, but I wasn't big on it. Not enough action, even in the first movie. Like, there's a lot of action at the end, but it took a while to get there. So,
yeah.
All right. Let's continue on about love and pain. Let's talk about conflicted feelings. I already said in the last podcast that I hate love sometimes. I would say it's more than sometimes, but I also hate that I hate love. So, if that makes sense. I feel like I really haven't had any situations where I didn't know whether or not I was falling for someone, so I don't really have conflicting feelings in that way. I never was like halfway falling for somebody, and then I was like, oh, maybe I don't like this person. It was always either like all in or nothing. So in that regard, I wasn't really experiencing any conflicting feelings. But what about you? Like, how about you with this whole conflicting feelings business?
So we're talking about conflicting feelings in relation to love specifically. And obviously, I think most people have experienced conflicting feelings about this. Sometimes you're not sure how much you like somebody, or you're not sure. Sometimes you're not sure why you love somebody when you have a lot of logical reasons not to love them. And so I've dealt
It might
with
just be
all
like
these.
they have chocolate all the time or something, and you just don't realize that subconsciously. Like, oh, I actually love you because you always bring me chocolate.
Yeah, why's your pockets so hot?
Right, right.
Yeah.
Hot chocolate. All right, go
Um,
ahead.
that's a good
Sorry,
one. Yeah,
was I doing a hot pocket thing with
you
the
were.
Jim
Yeah,
Gaffigan? Yeah, okay.
but it's funny because Hot Pocket still would have worked.
Yeah. I actually like hot chocolate now, even though it's supposed to be, I think, chocolat, but nobody says chocolate. I think it's 3 syllables, right? But it's kind of like
Yeah,
caramel. Nobody says caramel. Usually they just say caramel.
that's true. And there's
We're
never
getting into
enough.
all
They should.
kinds of shit. These are other conflicting feelings. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
already interrupting you.
There's also conflicted feelings. There's also what you perceive as conflicted feelings coming from somebody else, and you are getting conflicted feelings, or maybe it's just conflicted signals.
Yeah.
And that's difficult to deal with. People who you're not they like you one day, and the next day they act like they don't want to be around you, and so you're not sure where you stand with somebody. You're reading into cues like how often are they, are they responding to my text messages? Are they, are they waiting all day? And so these can be confusing as well. I think conflicting feelings in my experience has been more the norm. I would expect that most relationships have to weather a period of conflicting feelings, and then also a period of like even throughout your relationship there's you're never 100% sure what somebody is thinking and feeling all the time.
Yeah, and that's on top of the 12 periods a month or 12 periods a year already you got to deal with. But
Yeah,
also, um,
it might be.
yeah, there are. Sorry, go ahead. What?
Well, it might be more, right? What is
It
it?
could be.
I mean, how many
But
moon
yeah,
phases are
because it's
there?
actually every certain amount of.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and wait for. We'll wait for our what women don't know about women, but only men
Oh,
know.
this is a
Yeah,
perfect
we'll
one.
wait
Yeah.
for that. We'll wait for that
Yeah.
segment that we'll do in a few weeks on a podcast we got coming up. But I did want to point out, like, because you did kind of talk about like conflicting feelings in like the beginning of a relationship, whether you know somebody likes you or not, or maybe they're giving you mixed signals or whatever. And I had this happen when I fell in love with a hot crossing guard, and I thought that she wanted me to come over and talk to her, but she really just wanted me to go.
Hmm.
And
Was she the spinning that sign?
yeah,
Yeah.
the spinning the sign to my heart, right to it.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like that.
yeah. Hot chocolate. I would like to think that let's talk about emotions associated with love. So I would like to think that I never truly experienced hate. Because I think, would people say hate would be like a byproduct of love, or is it just a totally other emotion? Because I feel like you can't have one without the other, right?
Can't have one. I think you can have one without the other.
Well, I don't mean at the same time. I just mean in general. Like there's a reason why there's love and hate. I
Hmm.
don't I'm not saying like you can't if you love somebody you can, you're going to hate them too or whatever. Which is there is some truth to that. Later on in marriages where they just kind of settle and they're like like you said, maybe they didn't really love them at the beginning and then they realize it like way too late. But hate, I just want to say that like I feel like a lot of people use the word hate like just so easily. It's like, hey, and it's usually with inanimate like things. It's not really people. It's like, oh, I hate fish sandwiches or whatever it is. But but truly, even when people say that about people, I really do think that most people don't truly hate it. I don't think they understand what true hate is. The people that truly hate to me are the people that literally have motivation to go out and do something about that hate, which just boggles my mind. It's like
Yeah.
I don't have motivation to do like a lot of things in life, let alone let my hate, like something that I would hate, like actually motivate me to do something. So I think when a lot of people just say, hey, I hate this person or I hate this person, I really don't think they mean it. I think they're just trying to like come off on a strong view. That's why I think everybody they prefer to use what's the other word that people like, I don't know, disdain or some other word that's kind of a synonym, but yeah.
Despise, loathe.
Despise, loathe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Well, loathe, I mean, loathe is, I feel like I try not to use loathe too much either, unless I'm talking about myself. And I think that that's the biggest thing. with all this to me. And I mean, I smoked a little bit of weed before this podcast, guys. So this is actually a pretty serious subject that I'm talking about. But every once in a while, I'm probably just gonna have a happy face on because I feel good. But I'm the thing is like the most hatred that I've ever experienced in my life is with myself, not with anybody
Mm,
else. It's always been with myself. Um, but I feel like it's an emotion that would overtake you to like bounds that you would never dare go without hate. And like I was saying with the motivation and stuff. So if you really feel that, then I think you should probably get some help. If you really
yeah,
feel hate to the point where you feel like you gotta act upon it, then yeah, that's a problem. Um,
you got to figure something out.
yeah, but other emotions that come out of love, and probably the two biggest ones, right, are like jealousy and envy. And those I feel like everybody's experienced. If you haven't experienced one of those, like you haven't lived, I guess. But those are kind of emotions that I try to like kind of quell at the beginning. If I feel like I'm starting to feel jealousy or envy for something, I try to talk myself out of it. I'm like, this is stupid. You don't need to do this. It's not right. It's just the only person it's hurting is yourself. Nobody else knows that you're jealous or envious, right? So it's like,
Yeah,
unless you start acting out, and then they don't even know why you're acting out, and then they just think you what? Hate them. So it's like, it's all just a bunch of shit. But envy is easier to like kind of push down for me. Jealousy, I think, would be a little bit more of a difficult one. But we had talked about before how, like, especially like with me in the past, where I've had strong feelings for somebody that didn't reciprocate those feelings. And then later, like, I'm still seeing them on an everyday basis and then they're with somebody and then I have to see them with that person all the time. And then, jealousy can kind of creep up. Um so it's really kind of one of those situations where I really would love to avoid it, but I feel like jealousy is another one of those feelings. Envy I feel like is a little bit more easier to control, but jealousy I feel like is still one of those kind of on the edge of being controllable because it's like how do you control the fact of how you feel when you see somebody else with somebody that you think that you love or whatever it is. um so I don't know, what do you got to say? I mean, have you experienced any of these emotions? Have you experienced jealousy and envy and you know
yes,
I imagine you haven't experienced true hatred, but I'm just saying like jealousy and envy probably.
yeah. I have. Do you think there's a difference between jealousy and envy? Is there? Can you easily kind of differentiate them?
I would say that jealousy is about seeing somebody have something that you can't have. And envy is wanting something that a person has. So it would almost be like you would feel jealousy towards if it's a female that you like or you love. You would feel jealousy over the female because she's with a new dude, but
Yeah.
you would actually feel envy towards the dude.
I see. Envy to the dude, jealousy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, yeah, of course. I think, and I say of course, but I think it is of course with anybody who's been in at least one relationship. You have these feelings of jealousy and envy that can creep up from time to time. And I've had relationships. There's one that I'm thinking of where I was with somebody and and I did lose them and they left and they were with somebody else. And I was much younger, but at that point in time, there, yeah, I don't think it was, I would experience it. I think there's other emotions that are very negative that get wrapped up into that. But yeah, probably jealousy is one of those. But I do think about it is like if you're out with your girlfriend or your wife and there's another guy and she's chatting with another guy, it's like typically we call that jealousy when somebody is reacting negatively to that. And they're saying you're just a jealous boyfriend. And but yeah, I do think it's weird because jealousy to me makes it sound like envy in terms of like somebody saying, I'm jealous of what you have. I'm jealous of that. And so the jealous boyfriend type, that like that trope, I don't know if I understand it because like he's not jealous of his girlfriend. Like he doesn't want what she has.
I feel like they call it jealousy, but it's really just insecurity, right? It's just
Yes.
that's what
Yeah.
it is.
That's
So
how, yeah,
it's like
that's
a
how I would,
mislabeling of an emotion.
that seems like either that or it's a redefining of
Right,
that
right.
word. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, yeah, it's tough. And the craziest thing about jealousy is how do you think they get all that gelatin in the ocean? You see? You see that
I see.
jealousy?
Yeah, they could have
Jealousy,
called it.
jello jigglers.
They could have called it Jella here, Jella
Yeah,
Touch.
yeah. I like Gelatouch.
Yeah, Jella Touch would be nice.
That's
That
nice.
sounds like
That
an
almost sounds
electronic.
like a phone company.
Yeah, Jella Touch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh boy. We're
Wiggly
having fun
phones.
today.
Yeah.
We're having fun talking about love and pain, as you should, as one should. Um, all right. Okay, so we're gonna get into a little bit more heavier thing. I think this is a pretty heavy topic for me. I don't know if it is for you, but it's pain while in love versus pain being alone. And there's two different kind of pains I feel like that you're experiencing. Obviously, in love, we talked about before how there could be pain, like as far as like it's a different kind of pain. It's like insecurity, like we were just talking about, or maybe you don't know 100% if you love the person, or maybe you feel like you're stuck, or maybe there's an abuse going on, or whatever it is. So you have a lot of different types of pain while you're in a relationship. Now, being alone, you have different pain. It's more of like a desolation. You're not around anybody. You feel hopeless. It's more of an anxiety, depressive pain. Where I feel like is one pain is derived from the love involved, and the other pain is derived from the lack of love.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about all that?
I
How do you
completely
feel the
agree.
difference? Like, yeah, I mean, like we both haven't been in a relationship for a while. We don't want to get too personal. I'm not going to say how long, even though I probably have already on this podcast. But you know the difference, right? You feel the difference between any kind of the pain that you've had alone and the pain that you've been with somebody. So tell us your story. Let us all get wise from your wisdom. Hot chocolate.
The pain of being alone is I like that you likened it to anxiety. Because I think in life that people often deal with stress and anxiety, and those are two different things. I think stress is something more that's an event based, and
Yeah.
anxiety is more like a blanket that's just kind of always there. And so I think that the pain of being alone is that's the analogy for it, is that it is like anxiety. It's like a blanket that's always kind of there. And but when you're in love or you're with somebody and you feel that loneliness, it's it's like a very stressful event. It can be in a very acute event. And or I think another analogy I'm thinking of is like if you go outside and it's overcast and it's cloudy, okay? And then you go and you stand under the shade of a tree. How does that feel to you? If you're outside, it's overcast, it's cloudy, and then you go and you stand under a tree. Is there much difference happening there, or is it just kind of feel like it might feel cold, but it doesn't feel like a big change? I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah. That's fair to
But
say.
if you go out if you go outside in a very sunny day, and let's say the sun's rays hitting your skin, giving you all that vitamin D action.
Hmm.
Let's
Yeah.
say that's
The
the
big
love.
D, I call it.
Yeah, that's the rays of love shining down on you. And then you
Yeah.
go stand under the same tree with the shade. It's a massive difference. It feels like
Yeah.
something it doesn't just feel like the tree is cold. It feels like something has been taken away from you that you don't want to be taken away from you. Um Many times, right? Obviously we could paint a scenario where somebody's in the lost in the Sahara desert and all they want is somebody to take the sun away. So So that's what I think. I think that Third Eye Blind had a lyric about this where they said, "I never felt alone until I was with you," and I really like that because I think the most lonely I've ever felt in my entire life was moments where I was technically with somebody.
Yeah. Would you which would you prefer?
I
Being
would
with somebody or
prefer,
being alone? I mean, I think most people would say they would prefer being with somebody, right? But I'm
yeah, I
just
would prefer
curious.
to be with somebody that doesn't make me feel alone. Ultimately, does that
Yeah, the right
exist?
person.
I
Right.
I I hope that exists. Yeah,
Twins, triplets maybe. So that
yeah.
way like there's more to go around.
I
Um
think that I think that the real answer, just to segue off that too,
yeah.
I think the real answer is that to work on yourself to the point to where whether or not somebody stops loving you or not, or you're alone, that you can deal with the loneliness that because I think there is some insecurity where you're with somebody and you're latching onto them and you're using them as a crutch against loneliness. And so when it gets taken away, it hurts really, really bad. And so the ideal answer is to work on yourself to the point to where you can go out there, you can be with people and you can risk getting hurt. You can risk them not, removing their love and you're feeling like you're standing under this cold tree on a sunny day and you just have the confidence that you can deal with it because you're also comfortable with yourself and you're fine if you're alone for a period of time. So I think that would be the real answer.
That's beautifully well said. Beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah, it reminds me of the time when I went wedding crashing with a friend of mine, but instead we went orgy crashing. So we crashed some orgies. That was pretty fun, man.
How was the
Now there was a lot
baby
of love
oil?
going on there. Oh,
Okay.
there was a lot of baby oil. I get it
Yeah.
now. I get it now. I
You
get it now,
understand.
Diddy. Um, yeah, pain while in love versus pain being alone. Two different kinds of pain that come with their own pros and cons, as we've just kind of talked about. Pain while being in love would be things like maybe being insecure, not believing or loving yourself, which is probably my biggest handicap is not loving myself. And I already know that if I ever did find a relationship, like if I felt like something really strong and somebody felt really strong for me, like in a moment, like tomorrow or something, that I already know that there's going to be future problems because of what I feel about myself already. So I already know that I have to fix that before anything else happens. The problem is I don't really feel like I'm fixing it. Um, but pain while being alone is easier, I feel like, as time goes by, but also harder. Like you get used to it, but I also think that like we were talking about before, your depression and your worrying and your thoughts can start creeping in, and then then you get to the point where there are people out there, um, that maybe like they're bipolar types or something. Like there are people out there that'll be dangerous. It'll drive like them to death, whether it's self harm or whatever it is, and it's pretty bad. Um, and I don't I want to say this because I feel like there's a lot of people out there. I don't think I've known a lot of people who have constantly been with somebody, maybe multiple relationships, but they've never been alone. So when I try to tell them how I feel, they just don't get it.
Yeah.
And that, like, really bugs me sometimes because I almost feel like it should be like a prerequisite in life. It's like you should be able to love, but you should also spend like a couple of years alone and really feel like what it's like because I think a lot of people, and a lot of people just throw it out like by the wayside with like kind of like with depression and anxiety symptoms. They'll be like, "Oh, it's fine. You'll find somebody or you'll do it, just go out there and find somebody. It's so easy." Like, what are you talking about? No, it's not. That constantly are with somebody, yeah, I have a real hard time talking to. I don't know if you've got this. Like, I don't know if you how often you speak about like your relationships or being alone or whatever to other people or your friends, but I am wondering like if you do feel that sometimes where if you know anybody who's just constantly been with somebody their whole life and it's like, well, they just don't really understand how it is. Like, have you like come across that?
Yeah, and I don't think it's even beyond just saying you don't understand. I think I mean it's by choice. I assume that it comes from their own form of insecurity where they don't
Yeah.
even want to confront the feelings that come up when you when
Yeah,
you
that's
are
almost
alone for
worse,
that.
right? Because that's going to put you in some bad
Yeah,
relationships.
I think that is worse. I think that it's better to come to terms with what it feels like to be alone and to accept it to at least some degree. So that way when you are in your relationships, you're operating from a place where like you don't want to be with somebody just because the alternative is worse and the alternative being alone. And I'm at a place where I'm fine choosing to be alone over choosing to be with the wrong person. I'm
Yeah.
100% comfortable with that. And many people don't get to that point. They're just
Didn't work out with
choosing.
that furry, huh?
Yeah, yeah. The I had a what are those pillows called?
Pillow pet?
Like the waifu or like the
Oh,
big pillows.
those.
Yeah,
Oh,
those
yeah,
body
yeah.
pillows.
Is that who
Yeah,
you were dating?
yeah. I was gonna say the pillow was too big and it was smothering me.
Yeah, it's
Um,
alright.
but yeah, I think that that's even worse because now you're just in a relationship with somebody that's the best possibility at any given moment, but it'll always be you'll always choose that over being alone because you don't want to face that. You don't want to deal with that. So there's a lot of work there.
There's a lot of work, and it's actually really hard. I also wanna say that I think that I've had issues before where I'll talk to people about past relationships, and it'll even in like and they'll be like, "Oh, you just gotta get over that." And it's like, I understand that you just gotta get over that, but they, like, sent like, in that time frame, they would have already been with, like, 3 other people, right? And they're not alone ever, like, they're constantly with somebody. So what they don't understand is the reason why I'm dwelling on the past is because that's the most recent like experience I've had, and there's nothing else. But and they'll be like, "Well, you've got to move on," and it's like, "Well, live my life like that, and then see if you can move on that easily."
Yeah.
Like especially when that's all you're thinking about is the past. So I do get frustrated with people sometimes when I try to get advice, and that's why I usually don't seek advice because I feel like most people just don't get the situation.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I have a problem with advice too, where it's like I really love the saying, only take advice from people who are in a position that you want to be in.
Right, right, yeah, yeah. That's a good way. Um, I only take advice from strippers. That's why I only take advice from
There you
strippers
go. And
because
that's why you
it's
got poles. That's why
I
you got three
remember
poles in your
yeah,
bedroom.
I love that, man. Like, I remember when I was, like, 7 or 8 and my parents would be like, "What do you wanna be when you grow up?" I'd be like, "I wanna swing on a pole." It's fun. They thought I meant firemen, but they were wrong. Alright, let's talk about communicating in relationships. Communication, communicato, as they say in another
Kato.
language. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Congo, is that what you said?
Congo.
Okay.
Outbreak.
Communicongo. Um, I used to be an open book when it came to communicating in relationships. Obviously, I haven't been one in a while, so I'm saying I'm not sure if I would be an open book anymore. I don't know. I tend to think so negative now that I would be afraid that I would say something to my significant other that would be like a red flag. So like I would like if I was still feeling the same way that I do about myself right now and I was in a relationship, I feel like I would just taint it and I would ruin the relationship, and that's how I felt like in the past too. I feel like I'm the reason for all that. But I think that's just a lot of anxiety and depression, right? So, but obviously, communication and overall in a relationship is what's the whole cliche? Communication is the foundation of a good relationship. Probably trust and other things would be in there too, but I've heard people say just communication as well. Um, so I mean, if you're able to be open and honest with your partner, then you probably have a higher survival rate in a relationship than most people. But tell us your thoughts on communication in relationships. You just had that relationship one time where it was just walkie-talkie the whole time, and I remember the Morse code lady that you dated too. Those were fun.
Yeah, that's a big 10-4.
Yeah. Over.
Yeah, over and out.
We're over. Why are you saying over twice? I said we're over. All right, go ahead. Breaking up is hard to do on a walkie-talkie.
Obviously, communication's important. I think that more communication is probably fixes many problems that people have. Um, I want to take it down to a personal level and think about what I've dealt with in the past and where the communication breakdowns happen. I think there's some communication that shouldn't happen. Um,
Like cussing?
yeah, this might be controversial, but
Okay.
I think that you want to be careful not to have your significant other be your sole therapist. Um,
Definitely. No, I totally agree with that. You think that's
yeah.
controversial? That
Well,
people wouldn't agree with that?
Well, I do actually. I do because I think that some people think that if you have any issues, that's the person
Yeah,
you're
that's
supposed
true.
to be able to talk to.
Happy wife,
And
happy life.
yeah, that's right. Happy wife, happy life,
Yeah.
happy and no knife. Um,
Yeah. No
and
knife involved.
yeah, but in my experience, if you're dealing with things, if you're dealing with personal issues, I think that you don't want to shovel so much crap on top of your significant other's shoulders that you're burdening them with all of this, right? And so, and this goes into the controversial part is like the idea that you're burdening, because like one of the problems with people who are chronically depressed is they don't reach out to other people because they don't want to be a burden on anybody. I don't want to tell you I'm depressed
Yeah,
and then
that's
now I'm
huge.
burdening you.
Right.
And so And so I think there is some polarized views on this, when in reality there is probably somewhere in the middle that is the right it's a balancing act. It's true you don't want to overburden somebody, but it's also true that you need. I think it's important to talk about these things. So my recommendation is to, if you're dealing with a lot of stuff and you feel like it reaches into the realm of being a burden, then you maybe find a professional to talk to, a therapist or a counselor or somebody
Here you go
psychiatrist,
promoting
psychologist.
BetterHelp again.
Yeah, find help, but find better help.
Yeah, find
Is
help
what I'm
that's
saying.
better than the help that you already receive. And what place
Yeah,
could that be? All
use
right.
code socially awkward at the
Right.
checkout for 0% off because it doesn't
Yeah.
exist
Use the code
yet.
Brandon is our #1 customer,
Yeah,
and that'll get you. No, I'm just kidding.
but you do want to communicate. If you love someone, tell them you love them, and if you hate them, then keep it to yourself and
Yeah.
ghost
Right.
and ghost them one day when they
Right.
text you.
If they don't put the right cheese on your bologna sandwich, let them know, but in a caring way. So that way, the next time you get the bologna sandwich you asked for. But
But on average, I would say more communication is better. My perspective, my perception of the average relationship is that more communication would be better, and communication is very important.
yeah, I think communication and trust would probably be the two top things, right? You got to trust your partner. You got to
Yeah,
communicate with your partner.
I like the way you said it when you said trust and other things.
Yeah,
That
there are
was
other things.
yeah.
Yeah, because like if they're good at sex too, that's important for some people. Not for us. We're looking for a deeper meaning, a long connection with somebody is what I'm. And you know what I say? When you got a bunch of burdens, you got to let the bird out.
And I say a bird in the bush
Is worth. I thought
is
I'm
worth
not finishing it for. Oh, okay.
it's worth checking it out.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, go check it out.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. All right, let's talk about some personal experiences of painful love. Now, we might have talked about that. Sorry, I'm sucking on a Jolly Rancher.
That's the I know. What? Why is that? What happened that led up to that?
You know, I wasn't. I am literally sucking on a Jolly Rancher, just not the kind that people do in Montana. But, I'm just saying. I just wanted to make sure if people heard sucking sounds and are like, is this guy like giving a BJ and doing a podcast at the same
Says
time?
love and
Which might be
pain.
the greatest podcast ever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about personal experiences of painful love. I know we probably discussed a few of these before when we did a relationships podcast a while back. But how I feel is my pain, my fault. And I think, like I said, I mean, I think deep down in my subconscious, I really don't think that they were all my fault. I do know that there were times where I feel like it was definitely their fault. But I think my brain tells me it's all my fault. So do you ever have issues about thinking about the past relationships in your brains being like, "Oh, you fucked up. You fucked up. It was always you. You fucked up." Or do you not really deal with that?
I'm somewhere. I have a lot of that. I'm somewhere in the middle with that. I would like to. I like your saying, but I'd like to amend it because I was just thinking about it. You said my pain, my fault,
Yeah.
and I would like to amend that to say my pain, my problem is where I would like it to be.
My pain, my problem.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
T-Pain, T-Pain, your problem. My
that's
pain,
right.
my problem. T-Pain,
Yeah,
your problem. Yeah.
yeah. T-Mobile, where you at?
Yeah.
Um, I
Got
don't
a
know if
lot of
that's
real sponsors this week.
yeah.
Great.
Can you hear me now?
No.
I'll keep
Good.
going then.
Yeah.
The pain, yeah, my pain, my problem. I forgot the exact question you asked me that led into that, but I just like the idea because this goes into mental health a little bit, and I
Yeah.
know we've talked about this before,
We
but
kind of already answered it anyways, but go ahead.
yeah, I'll just say it in 2 seconds, 2 minutes, 2 hours. But I think that your mental health is not always your fault, but it is always your responsibility. And it's the same thing with pain. If you're dealing with pain, it's your responsibility to manage that and figure that out. It's not anybody else's to soothe you or to go and say the magic words to take away your pain.
Yeah, but
Even
would you
though,
say that to people who are like who want to self-harm, like that's literally in their brain, like makeup, is that they want to harm themselves and they're that bad off? Would you say that their pain is still their own responsibility? I mean, in a way, I get what you're
yeah,
saying, but
I
there are
would.
some people out there that need a little push, a little help. Or they just drop off and then they get forgot, and then one day you find out they're gone.
It is their responsibility. I don't know if you can paint a scenario
Brandon's
where
putting his foot down.
yeah. Let me put it this way: if you're over 18, then it's your responsibility,
Okay,
and it,
that's
it
good to
doesn't
know.
mean it doesn't mean that people couldn't have done more. But but as a cosmic rule that I'm putting out there, it's ultimately you're the final stopping point.
Cosby?
The buck stops with
Cosmic.
you.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a pill in your drink at a
Not
club at
yeah.
2 a.m. It's just your problem.
Yeah. You'll know it
Wait,
when you'll know it when you see it.
you'll know it when you taste it.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds like a dirty
Yeah.
penis joke, but go ahead.
Jello touch. You'll know when you taste it.
Um, all right. Well, yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. I never broke up with a girlfriend. I think you've revealed that too, didn't you? Did you reveal that, or have you broken up with a girlfriend?
I've I've broken up, but not I've never broken up a serious relationship though.
Yeah.
I've broken up shorter flings or like dating somebody.
Right.
I've broken that
You
up
usually
before.
just break up with them by punching them in the face, right? Because that's just like your breakup move.
Yeah, just fingers out, punch in the eyes. Um
Fingers out. She's like, ooh, and then she's like, oh wait, no, that's not where they're going.
yeah.
They're going towards my face. Fuck.
Yeah, Jello C, you can't do that anymore. Um
You
I think
cannot.
that I have a history of when I get serious about somebody, then I also get pretty committed as well.
Yeah, I
And
do too.
so
Yeah.
and I used to look at it as a bad thing, but I think that's a silver lining. I think that's actually a good trait. I think that by the time you are serious with somebody, the ability to have that level of commitment to them, I think, is a positive, and I think it's a green flag.
You commit to yours. I thought you meant like as soon as you fall in love with somebody, you just commit yourself into like a mental hospital.
Yeah, because you want to keep your arms locked up tight.
Right.
Straight jacket is what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
Padded room. Yeah.
Yep. And what are you eating?
What are you eating in a mental hospital? You're what do you eat there? Mush?
Starts with a J.
Oh, Jello.
Yeah,
Got you. You're eating Jello C. A sea of Jello.
that's right. Yeah,
A sea of Jello all over your
see
face.
Jello, see
Yeah.
Jello, eat Jello, and
Watch Jello run.
watch Jello run. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Um, I do want to say that in my last major relationship, and I think, like I said, I talked a little bit about this before on this podcast, but I was just tuned out more than any other relationship, and I think it was really unfair to her. After that one is when I started realizing that I have a problem that may be a lifelong issue, and that just in realizing that it just spiraled my depression and everything and my anxiety worse. I think it completely took my mental health like down in an exponential manner, and I'm still suffering from it to this day. So as sad as that is, um I don't know. Anything more to say about I mean, any more personal experiences that you may have not have brought up before, or that you want to talk about of painful love? Like, I don't know, a time you got that vibrator stuck up your butt? That was on accident. So I don't want to think people that you have like some weird fetish. It was there. You sat down on a
Yeah,
chair. You didn't realize it.
I see you've been reading my pen pal letters again,
Yeah. Well,
and
I still get penthouse.
yeah,
Yeah.
those were
So
for
anything else you want to say? Anything serious? Let's be serious. Go ahead and tell me your serious
sure,
stuff, and I
yeah.
won't make any jokes.
Well, no. Let's move on. Let's keep it going.
Does it? Does it?
Yeah, that's it.
Because now we're gonna get to the fun stuff of this episode.
Let's go. Let's
First,
do
we're
it.
going to do some.
It's time for our fake sponsors.
Where's that voice coming from? We are fake sponsored by Chocolate Jesus. Do you want to eat Easter chocolate without the guilt? Well, now you can. Our chocolate Jesus is dipped in holy water and blessed by the Pope himself. Each immaculate bite will leave you feeling resurrected. So get yourself a chocolate Jesus this Easter and feel alive again. We are also fake sponsored by Love Potion number 9. The long-awaited love potion developed in a secret German lab in the 1940s. What does it do? It makes you attracted to anyone and everyone. No longer will a metalhead only be attracted to magnets with love potion number 9. Find it today because it'll be gone tomorrow. All right, those are our fake
Okay.
sponsors.
I'm
Yeah.
really sad you missed the opportunity to call it the Immaculate Confection.
Oh, I did. See,
Yeah.
maybe I gotta run these by with you maybe before and be like, oh, I could do, yeah, Immaculate Confection that would be great. All right,
It was
so
great. It was good.
let's explain people a little bit what we're doing, because normally we do hot takes, but this time what we've done is we've wrote our own hot takes and we've swapped them with each other, and now we're each going to read those hot takes and we're going to have to defend those hot takes. So this is a little thing called hot swap.
Hot swap, bop, bop, boppity, bop, bop, boppity, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Hot swap, swap, bop, bop, boppity, bop, bop, bop. Hot swap, bop, bop, boppity, bop, bop, bop. Hot swap. I've got a hot take for you to tell. Hot swap. I've got a hot take for you to sell. Hot swap. Bippity, bippity, bop, bop, wow.
All right, that was our longest one yet.
That sounded great. That
Yeah,
was
it
good.
great.
Yeah, that was
nice,
good.
wasn't it? Oh,
Yeah,
that
that
AI
was-
music, it's going to replace everybody sooner or later.
It's better than. It's just
Yeah.
better.
That was better than any doo-wop band I've ever heard.
Yeah.
All right.
Or
All right,
really
so
good.
are you ready to play?
I am.
All right. Who do you want to go first? Because you're going to send me these. I have my chat open and ready for you to send. So it's up to you. If you want to go ahead and send me your first one, I'll do it. I'll go first. Send
All
it
right.
over. And
Okay.
now it's time for a hot swap,
What do you think about this?
which is what we did when we crashed orgies.
All right, I want to hear your hot take.
All right. Here's my hot take. I don't think elevators go up and down. I think the building moves around you and we've all just accepted it. You know, I've had this feeling for a while because I feel like every time I take an elevator, there's a special place in our city. It's probably, is it the tallest building? Or no, I'm thinking of a different one. I can't remember which building it is, but it has, if I'm sure you know this, it's a tall building in our area and it has the elevator with the window view, if you know what I'm talking about. So you go up the elevator and you can see like we're on one of the Great Lakes, so you can kind of see the Great Lakes, and not all of them. You can just see one of them. And often when I go on there and when I'm going up, I feel like I'm standing still and the building is going up or down around me. And this is kind of the scenario where, like, if you're in a car, you ever been in a car and, like, you're stopped, but because another car is, like, slowly moving, you think you're moving for
Yeah,
a
your
second?
sense of balance, it's like you can almost feel it in your body that you're moving for a second.
Right, but then you
Yeah.
realize you're not. So that's how I feel about this hot take. I
Okay.
do really feel like
This is a little
there's-
wild out. This is a little out there, though. I mean, I don't know.
Well, it
Do you
is
think-
out there. I'll tell you what.
you think-
And I'm going to say 100% that this is probably, if this is a conspiracy theory, this is one I can get behind.
Okay.
If
All right.
the whole building is moving and not the elevator,
I like
then
it.
I like it.
I like it.
All right.
I can accept that. Yeah.
All right. What's
Okay.
your hot take?
Well, hey, I have a hot take.
Okay.
Hey, gluteus maximus. I've
Oh, are
got
you
hot
calling me
take
a
for you.
butt? Oh, okay.
Well, hold on.
okay.
No
sorry.
buts about it. Actually,
Okay.
Andrew Tate is low key the best gift a woman could get.
Oh.
Think about it.
Ooh, wow.
Think about it. Because here's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna flip this on its head. Okay.
Okay.
How many men are out there walking around with these toxic personalities and they're hiding it and they're secretly, right? They're pretending to be the guy they aren't.
Right.
See, what Andrew Tate is doing is he's making it so he's making it more acceptable for men to reveal that inner parts of themselves. So that way as a woman, you can more easily identify these men and stay away from them. And that's why I think
so it's like a starter guy, like, so she can go with him and then she can know that, like, oh God, like, it's kind of like
Yeah.
a lesson learned.
that's
Yeah,
right.
It's kind of like
Yeah.
when you have to, you have to go through shit just to get to the jello.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
So that's all I'm saying is women is like, I just think in the end of the day, you should be on your knees thanking this guy.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm gonna agree with that hot take. Good job.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I got a hot take for you. Um,
Wait. Sorry, keep going.
Okay. No, I don't have a hot take. No, I do. If you cancel plans last minute, you should have to live stream what you're doing instead.
Ooh,
Um, and if
that's
people are
interesting.
specific, I mean like within the last day, if you've canceled plans, is what I mean. So if you've canceled
Okay.
plans within the last day, you should live stream me what you're doing because I think that's bullshit. Don't fucking do that shit.
Really?
That's fucking ridiculous, man. If you're gonna cancel, you need to show me. So if it's a doctor's appointment, I need you to live stream that. If it's like your wife's birth, or your not your wife's birth, because that'd be weird. My wife, my future wife is being birthed right now. I have to go. No, if it's like your
Jeffrey? Yeah.
yeah, if it's your child's birth, I want to know. Like, I want to make sure. I want you to treat me like as if I was a judge in a courtroom and you told me that you couldn't make it, and now you have to show me evidence of it. So I don't
Okay.
think that's that bad. Do you agree?
I think it's a little extreme,
Yeah,
but I
that's what
mean,
they call me.
I guess I get where you're coming from.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think you won me over. Yeah,
Yeah,
you got me. You
I
got
didn't
me.
even say anything, and I won you over. Like you just won
Yeah. All right.
yourself over. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
What's
All
your
right.
hot
Well,
swap
listen.
take?
All right. I have a hot take for you. Okay.
All right.
Dictators are not penis flavored potatoes.
What?
I would know. I would know because I've tasted them.
You've tasted dictators? Oh, wow.
Uh, no, the potatoes.
Oh, not the dictators. You've tasted the
Yeah.
potatoes that you thought were called dictators, but they're not actually called dictators.
Yeah. And you know what? It was a letdown because you think you're getting one thing and you get the other. Old switcheroo.
Yeah, I agree with you, man.
Yeah.
Like they shouldn't be able to call them dictators like that. Are they in the
Yeah.
shape of a dick? At least
Um, no, but they're in the feel of one.
it's interesting that you would say it
Yeah.
like that. But all right, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right, I'll buy it. I'll buy it.
Okay.
All right.
I was thinking you would. Yeah.
All right. All right. All right. I got a hot take. Oh god, this one really gets me, I'll tell you. Roosters should be required to wear voice translator muzzles that change their loud crowing to a soft woman's voice that whispers, "Time to get up. But if you're tired, try sleeping a little longer, 'cause that's fine too."
That's nice.
Isn't
That's
that nice? Isn't that nice,
Yeah.
man? And I
That's
personally, my
nice.
neighbor has roosters and chickens. Now I think this would be a great thing. I think this would be a great thing. And you could even have it where it's like a celebrity voice, right? Like translating. I think that would be great too, like a Morgan Freeman or, whoever you wanted. But I like this. I'm about it. I don't care what PETA says. I don't care what all these animal rescue people say. I don't care. Let's muzzle these bastards and let's get a translator on them and let's
Let's
see.
do it.
But what if the translator fails to do that and it actually just translates what's the rooster's thinking? And then it's like, and really he's just like, fuck off, fuck off. And
Yeah, that's a
then,
problem.
yeah.
Well, we could double muzzle them then maybe and
Yeah, double muzzle would probably be the best.
double muzzle, yeah.
Yeah, double muzzle is a good way. Also works for a first date. All right, go ahead.
All right. Well, I have another hot take. I'm not sure how you're gonna feel about this one because I was going back and forth on this all day,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't know if people are ready.
You have
for
a hard
this one.
time to committing to your hot takes sometimes. That's all right.
All right, here we go. Hey, highly absorbent maxi pad.
Oh,
I've got a hot take for you.
that's actually
every
actually
time-
good. I'll be
Yeah.
up there.
Sure. Okay, so every time I try to make up my mind, I don't have enough blush.
So every time you try to make up your mind, you don't have enough blush? So
Yeah.
you're putting makeup on your brain.
That's right. Yeah, and I just don't have enough blush. It seems
Right.
like they don't because you have to use brain blush, and this stuff is very. It comes
Probably
from
rare, right? Comes from
yeah.
like a
It comes
rare,
from the outskirts of the Peruvian coasts, and they make it with like very
the
highly
outskirts of the Peruvian coasts. Okay.
yeah, and
Like,
and
I
these
thought- okay. All right.
you know what
I
I'm
get
saying?
Yeah, I
Right,
get you.
and the secretions they have to get are
Yeah.
hard. It's hard to wrangle up all the
Wonderful word, secretion.
yeah. So
Yeah.
there's just not enough blush. It's expensive. It's a whole racket. But
You
I
should
don't
make
want
a
to
movie called There Will Be Blush.
yeah.
Yeah.
There will be blush, yeah. My blush drinks up your blush.
Yeah.
Is that how it goes?
Yeah.
I don't
Well, I
know.
was just thinking about like somebody found like this rare blush and now everybody's fighting over it and
Yeah,
you know. But it's
I
cool
get
that
that.
you open up your head and make up your brain. I like it.
Okay.
It's
All
beautiful.
right. Well, there it
Beautiful.
is.
All right. I got a hot take for you. People get naked on camera for money, but I find that strange because I put cameras in my shower and all I have are pictures of my dad, which I feel like I should have known, like, because he uses my shower. But I've turned it around and I've just made my dad an OnlyFans, and I think it's worked out pretty well. Because it's like because if you do it like where you only make sure that your profile comes up to the blind people who have they have their keyboards with what's it called? What's the little dots called?
Ellipses.
Braille.
Oh.
Well, well, yeah, they'll have that too, but Braille, like they can type it in Braille and stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah. So
That's
now
crazy.
now
Yeah.
he's making money. He's making money and and I think he doesn't know about it. I'm actually taking all the money, but it is my camera and my shower. So
So it's almost like now you don't find it strange. You're starting to get it actually. It sounds like.
right, like that
Yeah.
actually turned like everything on its head for me, and I think that
Yeah.
I really it really changed my mind.
I just can't judge you for that. When I hear you talk about it, it just makes sense that somebody might
Yeah,
do that. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I get you.
and yeah. All right,
Okay. All
what do
right.
you got?
Well, hey, I've got a hot take for you.
Okay.
People say I'm a really good twerker, but it's just the easiest way to get my farts out.
Oh, so every time you're on the dance floor, you're just letting them rip.
Yeah, well, I mean, if I'm twerking out there, I mean,
Yeah.
I think I do most of my twerking in the shower. So, um,
You do most of your twerking. This is like a warm or cold shower. All right, don't answer that.
yeah,
But okay. So yeah, well, you know what? I would feel that motion of twerking would actually be healthy. I feel like if you told your doctor, he'd be like, "This is how I get my farts out, get my gas out," and he'd be like, "Well, that's actually a pretty good way of doing it. Like
well,
you're doing a little extra work,
it's artistic expression. It keeps you limber.
right? You're exercising, yeah.
And if you do it in the right shower, you might be making somebody else a little bit of money in the process.
Oh yeah,
you don't know.
twerking, yeah. And
Yeah.
then not only that, but you can make double the money if you bottle those things and sell those on the internet too.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
I
I'm
get
ready
it.
for your next hot take. Your hot takes have been pretty intelligent lately, and I'm really excited to hear what you got.
I know
coming
it's
up.
almost like a genius wrote these. All right,
Yeah.
let's go to my next hot take. Scooby Doo should be changed to Scooby Don't because in the end, Scooby don't play those games, and I I agree. I think
Okay.
it's great. What does he do anyways? I mean, really, in the end, if you've ever watched a Scooby Doo episode, they never find the person intentionally. It's always on accident.
Yeah.
So he should be called Scooby Don't. Um, yeah, I'm okay with that, and I'm a big fan of Scooby Doo. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I mean, like when
you
they're
agree
off,
with that?
I mean, like when I think about it, he's usually off like making a sandwich or something while everybody
They
else
both
is.
are, right? Like Shaggy and
Yeah.
Scooby together making it. That's why there's so many rumors about them like smoking marijuana all the time because they're always hungry.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's true. He don't play those games, do he?
No, he don't
Yeah.
play no games.
I haven't thought about that till just now.
It's good
Yeah.
thinking. It's good that I wrote these down then. All right, what do you got for me?
All right. Well, hey, I have Madigan City.
Well,
Did I
thank
say
you.
that? Did I say that right?
Vatican
Because-
City, thank you. Yes. The
Yeah.
Pope lives within me. He lives within all of us, even though I'm not
Yeah.
Catholic. But go ahead.
And surrounded on all sides
Yeah.
is what is it?
Italia. Italy.
Yeah. There's actually a fun fact about Madigan City that I forgot.
Oh,
Maybe it's like the smallest country or some weird fact like that. I forgot what it
Yeah.
was though.
but what about
Um,
Lesotho?
Lesotho,
Lesotho, the country that's inside of South Africa? It's a little
Butafuco.
island. Yeah.
I don't
Anyway,
know.
we'll talk about that. We'll do some geography episode in the future. We'll get to the bottom of that.
All right. Well, let me finish this hot take because I
Okay,
really
okay.
need to get this out.
Yeah.
So here's my hot take for you. When she asked me if I wanted to come inside, I said, "How about the porch?" You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. Now, did the porch have any overgrowth on it? Or was it just was there anything on the porch, or was the porch, like, pretty much cleaned off?
Well, it was this is what confused me because she lives in an apartment complex, so I
Oh,
was like,
so
you
it's like
know,
everybody's porch. It's like more than one person's porch.
yeah, and I said, this is why I said it because I what I wanted to do at the end of the day is confuse her, because I think confusion is the heart of mystery, and I read somewhere that mystery is what makes love blossom. So
I think
there you
so,
go,
yeah. Yeah,
there
until
you
the
go.
mystery is revealed and all love is lost, you are correct.
It's pretty simple. Shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. If you think
Or a
about it.
porch. Alright, go ahead. Oh, wait, no, it's my turn, isn't it? Alright, my
Yeah,
turn.
yeah, yeah. It's your turn.
Alright,
Go ahead.
here's my hot take. There should be a statute of limitations on apologies. So if 3 years pass, I don't legally owe you one anymore, and you get fined for expecting one.
Oh, this is
Yeah,
crazy.
this is crazy, right?
Okay.
So, yeah, you would have to implement some different laws there, but I think that, yeah, after the 3-year mark, if you're coming at me expecting an apology, then I can go to the police or something, and they will fine you for this. But I'm sure that we'll have to have some records, and we'll have to make sure so they know the 3-year period was correctly taken, like that time had passed. So, but yeah, I mean, if you owe me an apology, you get 3 whole fucking years, man. What is that? That's over 1,000 days, Brandon. You get 1,000 days to apologize, and if you don't do that, that's on you.
That's true because ultimately your pain is your problem.
Of course, really, this hot take was about me owing an apology to them. But either way, that's still I don't owe them one either.
Yeah.
Um, if it's been 3 years and then you keep expecting one, then yeah, that's on you.
Yeah.
But all
Okay.
right, what do you got?
All right. All right. All right. Well, here's a hot take for you. This is my next one. I think I'm up to 6 of them now, so I'm
Mm,
excited for this one.
yeah,
I'm usually the party pooper unless it's a poop party. Then everyone's a party pooper, but I'm the star.
I think I've been to one of those. Um, it's a little rough because at first they tell you to take your shoes off, and you're like, no. So, but yeah, like I guess so. But what you're saying is that you're no matter what, you're a party pooper. But if you're
Yeah.
at a poop party, then nobody really cares. But if you're at a regular party, then it's a problem.
Yeah, and I mean, I usually don't go to poop parties unless they have wood floors because things get really messy. So
I got you.
yeah.
You should probably talk to our producer about that. Yeah, but he's also a producer. You know what I'm
You
saying?
think Doofer's taking a dump at a poop party, or is he not a party pooper?
I think Doofer is in jail for taking a dump on
Oh,
someone's face,
so
which is
every party is a poop party for him until
yeah,
parole. Yeah.
until parole. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
poop parole, poop parole. Yeah. All right, all right. I got another one for you.
Okay. All
Um,
right. I'm can't wait.
instead of saying the phrase "a bowl in a china shop," we should say "bowl waiting in line to use the self checkout, even though the normal checkout is empty." Um,
Okay.
bowl in a china shop is just it's so old. Let's get rid of it. Let's just do it. I like this better. You say, hey, okay, you're a bowl waiting in line to use the self checkout, even though the normal checkout is empty. I imagine people have said this to you,
Yeah.
where like, have you ever used a self checkout and then like there was a lonely waitress, lonely cashier who was like, hey, I'm open, and you're like, no, I'm good, and you're like third in line
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. My only concern is that the phrase is a bit of a mouthful. Do you have any problems with that?
No, because you could just do boil to which is
That
just an acronym.
Yeah. That way
Yeah,
you can quickly understand it.
yeah,
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 I get
yeah.
that. Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Well, I'll take that. Yeah, because I have been in those situations and So I'm right there with you.
Yeah, you're like the number one
Yeah.
advocate for self-checkouts.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, methamphetamine.
Oh,
I've got a hot
wow.
take.
Okay.
I've I've
Jeez.
got a I've got a hot take for you
Yeah.
if you're ready.
All right.
Um, wouldn't have Herman been a better first name for Caitlyn Jenner?
Herman. Oh, I get it
Yeah.
because it's like
Yeah.
her man, like it's like a she man.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You
Oh,
get
you're
it.
really just taking it to the LGBT community, aren't you?
Well, I think
Um,
I'm one Herman. I like Herman Peters. You know what I mean? Like just something simple. I'm just thinking
yeah.
off the top of my head,
Yeah.
but I think
Well, I
that
don't
would have
think
been
she
really.
changes the last. I think the last name stays the same, but yeah, I get it.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. So
okay. Well,
Herman Jenner.
yeah, Herman fits
Yeah.
well. Who
Yeah.
knows? It could be anything. I don't know.
Yeah,
You know,
I like
but
it. I'm down with it.
um,
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong on that.
yeah,
I'll
Herman.
tell you this, if people come at you, I will defend you, bro. I will defend you with this one.
Okay, I appreciate it. I was a little worried. I was worried to put that out there because I
Right.
thought it get clipped and shipped, and next thing I know, I'm canceled on a street corner.
Much like Caitlyn Jenner's penis. All right. Um
Boom. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, okay.
Boom. All right. I got one for you. I got a hot take for you. Um people always ask if the carpet matches the drapes, but nobody's asking why the spigot keeps squirting oily hot dog water. Yeah, it's a tough one. Um um I mean, why isn't anybody asking this? Oily hot dog water. The way I said it, I meant hot dog water, but the way I said it, probably people I meant like a hot dog, like a hot animal. What I meant was
Yeah.
oily hot dog water, like as in the
Okay.
food hot dog. But nobody's asking. But nobody's asking that question, and I really, really wonder why. Like
What
it's
What's the spigot in this scenario? Like, what do you?
well, it's your outside water. Uh,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, a lot of people don't say it as spigot. A lot of people say it as like a racial slur, which it's not a racial. It's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
Um.
I bet it would be funny if the person who wrote this wrote it with a CK and then had it spell corrected to a G. That would be,
Oh,
that would be crazy, wouldn't it?
like a spigot, like a
Yeah.
spigot.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
that just be the
Well, I
craziest
would
scenario?
think that the majority of people would think that that's how it's
Yeah.
spelled. Even if they didn't think it was racially like motivated, they would just think that that's how it's spelled. But yeah, I agree. I mean, do you agree with this? I also think that if I also want to say that if the carpet matches Drake, then
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you should also be asking why the spigot keeps squirting oily hot dog water.
Yeah. Well, that it is concerning, and people should be asking about that if it's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right. Well, then, I mean, you got me inspired, so I have another one.
Okay.
And I didn't originally have this one ready, but I'm thinking of it right now, and I just got to
But
share
you're
it.
so I
Okay.
know you're so good at that.
Yeah.
You're so
Okay. So
improvisative.
hey,
Yeah.
I've got a hot take for you.
Okay.
I remember when I asked an Irishman to borrow some potatoes, and he looked at me like his family died.
Oh, that's too soon, Brandon. I mean, the Irish famine was what, like in the 1800s. It's. I think that's too soon. I
I
see
mean,
why he would
you get it
look at you
though.
like that.
I just
Yeah.
and I'm just it's not even really a hot take. I guess I'm just remembering a random thought.
Right. You had an Irish friend, which I'm assuming he's not
Yeah.
your friend anymore because he really took that seriously, and you just wanted some
Well,
potatoes.
yeah.
But
Well, that's why I called him just an Irishman because he's not an Irish friend anymore.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
knew
after
his name
that,
was Irish.
he did
Yeah.
an Irish goodbye, and I never saw him again.
Yeah. Well, that's all right, man. There's plenty of potatoes in the U.S., so
Yeah.
probably don't really
Now I'm
need to worry about
here. Now I'm here drinking Carolyn's because I can't afford Bailey's.
it. Yeah.
Is that an Irish or
I think so.
Scottish?
I
Yeah.
think so.
So
Hopefully,
that's my hot take.
we might have
Yeah.
just offended the Scots or the Irish. We don't know, but
Yeah.
let's continue on.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right.
Oh yeah. So you're doing a hot take now, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
and I think I'm on number 9 now.
Okay.
I think we should be allowed to boo at weddings if we get the vibe that the couple probably won't make it. You know how many times I've wanted to boo at a wedding? Like, it's also great. I also think that if the bride's hot, they should have to show their boobs.
Okay.
It should be like a topless
Wow.
wedding.
This is kind of harsh, though, isn't it? Booing at a wedding.
Oh, No, I don't know. Well, yeah, but like I'm actually referring to weddings that like when I wedding crash. So I don't know these people. So I just go in, and
Okay.
that's like a good way to crash. You just go boo,
And that's if you get the vibe they're not going to make it, like they're just not going to stay married very long.
Oh, I don't know. I just like to boo. I just boo a lot. Really, what I'm doing is I do it with I usually go to a wedding, like I don't know, it's probably like maybe in like Harlem, or maybe it's in Compton in California or something, and then I put on like a white sheet and I poke the holes out, and then I say boo. But I usually have like, I don't know, maybe a torch that I'm carrying. I'm starting
Okay.
to think that I'm starting to see why that's not working out for me though.
Yeah, I don't know if
But
I like
yeah.
the booing
Yeah.
or the whole thing, I
The
guess.
whole
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
The whole package is problematic. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I
Okay.
won't do it at your wedding if you ever have a wedding.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Even if it's to the furry. All right.
And if I do have a wedding, I chose that over being or wait, that's not right. Well, I'm just going to move on. Let's put this
First of
let's push
all,
it
if
under the
you've
rug.
never booed at a wedding, Brandon, you should try it before you knock it. Is all I'm trying to say.
Okay. All right. All right.
All right, what do you got?
Hey, Matsy Klein, I've got a hot take for you.
Mm,
I was caught in a fire at a manure factory,
mm.
and now I have third degree burns.
Third degree.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's worse than the other degrees.
Worse than the others. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
this is
one and the two and the
yeah.
yeah.
I
That's
think I
crazy, man.
think the
You
the
got
third
poop
degree,
burns
yeah,
then? Or like,
poop
yeah,
burns. The third degree is the worst degree, the doctor said, because
yeah. You probably
because you
burn slowly. If you're rolling around, because you stop, drop, and roll, right? So if you're rolling in that manure and you then catch on fire, you're probably burning slower. So it's actually like it's beneficial in the long
it's
run, but it's
bad.
also
Yeah,
not. Yeah, it's not
it's
good.
like imagine like cow patty napalm just rubbed all over your body,
Mm,
right?
that's
And
a
you
yeah.
and
That's my cologne.
and you're laying naked face down in a Vietnam trench with a ball of flame
Why are you not
blazing
going to
off your
bring
back.
Vietnam into this?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Why don't we just move on,
Okay.
actually?
Let's
Because
move
now
on. Let's
I'm
move on.
insecure. I'm insecure about,
You're insecure about your third
yeah,
degree burns. I
yeah.
get it. All right. Well, I got a hot take. I think this is my last hot take, but I got one for you. Here it is. We should have one day a year where nobody is allowed to use the bathroom and we just see what happens. Well, this is how you
Ooh.
get third degree burns,
Oh,
Brandon.
yeah.
Um, uh,
I
yeah,
like
we
this.
shouldn't
This
let
is fun.
anybody. I feel like this sole purpose is but people got to clean the bathrooms. I feel like this is less about allowing people to use the bathroom and more about making sure every bathroom in the world is clean and tidy. And so we just get one day a year to make sure, and then you're really going to be in good shape if you're the dude using that bathroom the next day, because it's going to be the cleanest it's ever been. And that's how I feel about it.
I like this. I think this, what this reminds me of is The Purge. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
And
a little not as murderous as I thought it was going to be, but yeah, go ahead.
but still a purge nonetheless.
Yeah, it's a different kind of purge.
Yeah.
And if you, I realize that that's going to leave a lot of like the natural world covered and stuff, but come on, man, it's already covered and stuff, right?
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
I think
The
that's kind of
final
cool.
hot swap take.
I
Go
like
ahead.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I've got a hot take for you.
It's the final one. Ring, ding, ding. All right, what do you got?
All right. Well, listen, I have a gay friend named
Oh.
Mike.
Yeah.
And he always asks me if I want to come over for an open mic night.
Okay, see, normally I would know what an open mic night is, but because you said your friend is gay and his name's Mike, it makes me think that it's something different. So is this a gay sexual act he wants, or does he legit just want you to like do some karaoke at his house?
Oh, no. See, I see where
Yeah.
you're getting that from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's where we just talk and share feelings, and we just open ourselves up to each other,
Right.
and totally not gay, but we just talk about our deep feelings and desires and hopes and dreams all night
Okay.
long.
You went a little homophobic there for a minute, but yeah, I get it. That's cool.
Just completely nothing gay.
Nothing gay. Nothing gay about it.
Not that there's
it's-
anything. Yeah.
Yeah, not that there's anything wrong with that. That's perfectly fine to be gay. I got no problem with it. All right, well, that's great. That has been Hot Swap, Hot Take Swap, whatever it's called. That's what it is. I won't play the media again because that'll just 30 seconds of. Or you know what?
Is
Maybe I
that all
will.
it is? 30 seconds?
It seemed like a lot longer, didn't it?
Yeah,
It
seemed like
seemed so like, you know what? Fuck
I
it.
would say more like 90 seconds.
Hot swap, bop, bop, boppity, bop, bop, boppity, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Hot swap, swap, bop, bop, boppity, bop, bop, bop. Hot swap, bop, bop, boppity, bop, bop, bop. Hot swap, I've got a hot take for you to tell. Hot swap, I've got a hot take for you to sell. Hot swap, bippity, bippity, bop, bop, wow.
Yeah. 32 seconds. That could have been why all 1960s songs were like 2 minutes long, though, because everybody thought they were like 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, you know, people think that we have an ADD, ADHD epidemic now, but you know, back then it was very common for songs to be short and snappy. You know,
One of my most favorite songs in the whole world is "What a Wonderful World" by Louis Armstrong. And I think that song is maybe just over 2 minutes, but it's such a great song. But you get to the point. You get easy. You're like, oh, yeah, he's telling me why the world is wonderful. And that's about 2
Great.
minutes is enough to know why the world is wonderful because there's not much more than that.
It's right up there with Louie.
Yeah, Louis. Or Louis C.K., who got in trouble when he masturbated in front of people. All right. Let's talk. And with that, let's talk about dealing with heartbreak. All right. Why don't you start? And let's talk about some heartbreak. Heartbreak Hotel. Little hot chocolate. No, that. All right.
How does one deal with heartbreak?
Probably most people probably don't do it right. A lot of drinking, a lot of partying.
Drinking, partying, I think immediately trying to find love somewhere else.
Other drugs, yeah. Or one night stand, maybe, just because you want to feel something.
I love the term vine swingers with those people. That's the term that I like to use.
Vine
These are people
swingers?
where vine swingers, because you know what? When you're swinging on a vine,
Yeah, like Tarzan.
you don't let go of the vine you're holding onto until you have a firm grasp of the next one.
Let's just call them Tarzanesies. No, I like vine swinger. You're fine.
Okay, all right. So dealing with heartbreak, how do you do it? I tend to just be utterly and completely alone, turn the lights off, go into the deepest recesses
Cry
of my
for
mind
7
and
days.
just feel the deepest emotional, existential, most self-deprecating feelings and emotions that I can possibly feel until I reach the very end of the rope and I get so sick of myself that my life can either stop at that exact moment or it must go on some other way. And then usually I've been lucky enough
You're trying
to
to
go
get
on.
to like the peak of the heartbreak. Really
Yeah,
fast.
I want to get to heartbreak
Get
Everest.
to Heartbreak City, population.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
Turn on the spigot because there's a lot of heartbreak just pouring out of me
Right,
on those nights.
And the one thing I would add to all that is not only self-deprecation but self-defecation. So if you
That's
did
right.
that as well, that would be a new low. I feel like you'd be like,
But
well,
when
I lost my love, but I'm also sitting in my own shit. So,
But also, this is something from Parks and Recreation. I think
great show.
I think there's
great. We've never talked about that.
I know it is a great show. I think
Yeah.
there is a period of time where you need to treat yourself, and this is where having yourself a little immaculate confection here and there.
Yeah.
You could be doing, ordering out for something that's like your favorite food, or making
Right.
yourself that you really love. If what you love is opening up a can of corned beef hash and putting it onto a frying pan and then melting
God,
half
who
a bag
doesn't
of
love that?
shredded, sharp cheddar over top, right,
Okay.
until you're brown.
First of all, we need to calm down. And my doctor also said I couldn't get an erection, so stop talking about this corned beef hash.
Okay. I could say this because it's a very specific meal that I've had before.
It sounds delicious. And I'm also wondering why I wasn't invited over for this meal. Unless it was like you're talking about like childhood and somebody
long
cooked
time
it for
ago.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't eat that meal now unless I prep it with like 20 milligram doses of Pepsid AC, but I could
Yeah.
probably do it. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, there's a period of time I think where you're allowed to wallow, and I think this is typically what I do. I have, like you've heard
Wallow?
rules. Wallow, yeah,
Wallow. All right, go
yeah.
ahead.
It's that movie with all the little people and the magic and
I
her.
think
No, I'm
that's
thinking
willow.
of Okay,
Yeah.
all right. I
Yeah,
thought that
yeah.
was a type of tree.
That's
So,
also yeah, you're right. No, you're thinking of pine. Yeah.
pine.
Yeah.
Um, So what I would do with my pine sol is because it's good. Sometimes just going on a cleaning binge is good too for getting over heartbreak.
Right.
Because you lose yourself in other activities. Some people lose themselves in their jobs. Some people will clean the
Well, I
kitchen,
think people might
vacuum the.
think that what you just said is a joke, which I think halfingly it was. But like, I do get what you're saying. Is what you're saying is like, whatever you like to do, go do it. It might not
Yeah,
be as rewarding because you're still. I mean, you're not gonna. It's not gonna totally get rid of your thoughts of the heartbreak. But being with friends and doing stuff to get your mind off it. But we all know that in the end, it's really time, right? I mean, I always used to hate when people would be like, time heals all your wounds, man. I don't think it heals them completely, but I get it now. Like, but when you're a kid, your parents might be like, oh, you got time. It takes time.
I have a formula for for heartbreak time
Oh,
that I think
like a
is.
mathematical equation?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's actually not. It's really simple because it's just this per every this. So I think that the time that you are allowed to allot yourself post for dealing with a heartbreak for a relationship ending is 1 day for every week that you guys were together.
1 day for every week. So let's just break that down. So if somebody's married for 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
which would be roughly, well, it's going to be way more than this, but already that would be, um,
Over 1,000 days
yeah, over 1,000 weeks. So 1,000. So you're telling me they're going to have, so if they're married for 20
or a
years, they're going to
thousand.
have to take 3 years of
Yep.
like just, yeah, I get it.
I think that's fair. I think 3 years for 20
It's
years
an
of marriage is.
interesting equation, but yeah. But what I probably wouldn't agree with is if somebody was with somebody for like a week,
I think take a day. That's fine. Take a
take
day.
a day, take a mental health
Yeah.
day.
What's
I
wrong?
just
I mean,
dated
like,
this girl for a week. I need a day off.
yeah. Well, I'm not saying take
Yeah,
a
I
day
know
off
what you
work,
mean. I know.
but
I
I'm
know.
just saying that day you're not that. I think that period of time you're not expected to be out pursuing new interests, right? Like
Yeah.
a day, like yeah, because I didn't phrase it this way, but I think that's the period of time where you are not. What's it called when you get into a relationship with somebody who just came out of one, and you're
Rebound?
the rebound? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the 1 day per week is the period of time where you where it's not a rebound if you find somebody new, right?
Right,
So like
right.
if you're dating somebody for a week, you break up, and then the same day you find somebody, that's a rebound. So
Yeah.
just wait 24 hours, right? You're fine. If you're with somebody for 3 months, what does that look like? 4 weeks in a month, 4 days per month. So 4 times 3 is 12 days. So we're talking almost 2 weeks. If you're with somebody for, um,
A year.
what are this? If you're with somebody for a year, that's 52.
Yeah.
That's close to 2 months,
Right.
right? So if you're with somebody for a year, give yourself at least a month and a half, close to 2 months, where you're not immediately jumping into the next relationship. And so I think that's the necessary time it takes to do house cleaning, to make sure you're right, you're okay with and then you can truly find somebody
With
new and
pine
be able to
sol.
move on.
Pine sol only.
Pine sol, I think that Giddy
Oak
Up
sol,
409.
willow sol, any of the
Yeah.
sols will be fine.
Sometimes just baking soda and
Water?
I was gonna say vinegar, but
Oh,
water.
that'll work too. Yeah. Yeah. How about, because I like what you're saying. I think that there's like, because you need to take time. I think a lot of times what happens in well, maybe it's just a movie trope or something, but like a girl will get dumped by a guy that they've been together for a long time, and then her friends are like, no, we're taking you out. Let's go out, and then that could lead to other issues, right? Then you start drinking, and then you were like, and then you fall for somebody, and then maybe you wake up, have a one night stand. 9 months later, you're pregnant with a kid, and the guy had an ugly face. Now you got this ugly kid. Like, there's so many like repercussions that could happen with all that.
Yeah.
So I get what I definitely get. Like, I do agree with that. I think your equation's pretty good. Yeah, I like it. I feel bad for the people who are like 85 years old and been with somebody for 60 years. because basically it's done for them. I mean, really. But I get it. Maybe
Okay,
maybe you fine
I'll-
tune that at a certain age.
let me amend this. Let me say
Yeah.
after the age of what's a good age? Let me pick a medium.
I'd be
I'll
like
say
65. Yeah. Oh. Look
Ooh.
at that. Oh.
Okay.
You owe me a
Okay.
Coke. I don't know. Do people still do that? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. I
Okay,
don't
so
know.
65. After 65, it's carte blanche. Do whatever you want.
All right. I agree. Yeah. Okay. What I want to say is that I feel like I don't know if this is cliche or not, but with a lot of my relationships, with my major relationships where I really felt like a lot of feelings, whether it was love, that's I guess to different people's discretion. But I feel like I did kind of leave a piece of me. I left a piece of me and I took a piece of them. Mainly because I carried around a knife and I'm just like and then I'm like, here. And then when they're sleeping, they're like, I'm not gonna do that. And then I'm like, I'll just wait till you're sleeping after you drink my special drink. And then I do that. No, obviously I'm joking. But what I do mean is like, there's like a piece of my soul. I don't know. I feel like that's such a cliche thing to say. Piece of my heart, piece of my feelings, whatever it is. I don't know what it is. That's just how I'm describing it. Does that make any sense to you? And can you relate to that at all?
Yeah, there's a little piece of you. There's a little hot swap that happens there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not in a good way. I mean, it's like it's good and it's both good and bad because it kind of that's
It's like
the
an
piece.
ice cold. Yeah, it's like an ice cold rigor mortis swap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, this kind of ties into what you were just saying about your equation because you have that piece that was taken and you also gain, I think, a little piece. I mean, we can kind of agree on that, right? Not only are you losing a little piece, but you're gaining a little piece of them too that you remember. But that's probably why you need that extra time to kind of squish that piece. I don't know if it ever goes away. I don't know if you ever 100% get like the people that you've had feelings for out, even if you're in a long relationship. Maybe it does because I'm not in that long relationship. I've never been married or something, but I do wonder about that too. So it's like, does that ever really go away? It's kind of like when I said time heals all wounds or whatever. But what I really feel like is it doesn't heal them completely. I don't think they're ever healed completely, but it does help, obviously.
Yeah, it's a piece of who you are. Everything that you have in your past that has become a memory is now a permanent part of the story that makes up who you think you are in
Right.
this moment.
Yeah.
And so it's exactly how you say it. That it's something was left and something was taken.
Sorry, I just
And
had to
it'll always be
dab.
there.
I keep dabbing. My bad. No, I think I agree with that, and I think that people who have like feelings, like if they still have feelings for the person, which obviously if you've been dumped, you're most likely going to have feelings for that person. And there's another cliche that I think a cliche adage or saying or whatever. Yeah, that people have heard when they were younger and they were probably like, whatever. But it's one of those things that you learn as you're older. You're like, oh, that's actually right. And that's out of sight, out of mind, right? When you don't have to see them, out of sight is way much easier than out of mind. I mean, you're going to still think about them, but that's why you need these little breaks that we're talking about. But out of sight, I think, does help. And I really think the saying is meaning, I said it like it meant both, but really what I think it means is once they're out of your sight, eventually they'll be out of your mind, right?
That's
So,
true, yeah.
but how do you feel like? Do you think that that's true? Because I feel like that did help me in times where I was like, okay, I'm just not going to see this person, and that'll help.
Well, I think when I hear the word out of sight, first thing I think of is George Clooney.
Me too.
And then the
Because
second
isn't he
thing
out
I
of
think
sight, man? He is.
yeah.
I forget the
And-
movie though. But go ahead.
Yeah, who knows the name?
Yeah.
Out of sight, out of mind. Yeah, I mean over time that's where it's like out of sight plus out of mind. That's in parentheses. And then PEMDAS says that happens first. So now you have that plus
Don't
time.
bring in mathematical
right?
things into this situation right now. Okay.
Equals X.
Yes.
Now what is X?
Well, it's a
Solve for
variable,
X.
right? Yeah.
It's a variable, meaning it can be many things. But in this situation, in this formula, X
It's your
refers-
X.
It is your X. That's
Yeah.
right.
So it's not solve for X as in the letter X, it's solve for EX. But EX is one variable, not two different variables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one syllable.
Definitely one syllable.
Yeah, which makes it easier to guess when you're trying to guess people's names,
Right.
we have found.
Yeah.
So that's what I think about that. But I was actually going to say it equals happiness. So
Okay.
time, I forgot the equation. Give it time. And out of sight, out of mind, give it time.
Wonderful. Sounds like a song you could create, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
Be your
doo-wop
next
song with
hit.
Suno.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too bad you broke up with your band, the band that did the big penis breath song, but that's all right. There'll be others.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
The the floor shrubs.
Yeah. Oh, it was them? I thought it was
Yeah.
3 days below 0 or whatever it was that we found out. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should probably
Well,
keep better records.
and it was more than that if you look at the real feel, but people don't want to talk about that.
No, because I'm
Yeah.
afraid of the real feel. It sounds like something
Yeah.
that like a psychiatrist asked me about when I was young.
Yeah, and it's usually a latex glove, and
Right.
you're thinking,
Yeah.
well, we don't want to know what you're thinking, but
Yeah, wouldn't that be
anyways,
a crazy hot take? As if we just found out that like you didn't actually have to turn your head and cough, and they just made you do that because they didn't want you to see what they were doing down there.
Yeah, I like to bow my head and smile because that.
Oh, like a Chinese man or like a Japanese man? That's probably I don't know
Yeah,
some kind of Asian man.
yeah,
I don't want to. I don't
yeah.
want to get stuck in a stereotype here.
Tip my hat.
Hmm.
I
To
like
you.
that. Yeah,
Top of the morning to you. Tip my hat to you.
yeah,
All right. I'll say so. Yeah, every relationship where I experienced heartbreak due to cheating or them not loving me back, I took that and then I turned it around on myself, and that's why I don't think a relationship would be healthy for me because I always blame myself for those things. I feel like I would try to like in a relationship now, I feel like I would try to unload a lot of this baggage. I feel like when I was in my 20s, people would always talk about baggage, and I'm like, glad I don't have to deal about that or worry about that. And now I'm in my 40s, and I'm like, oh, I got a lot of baggage. And it starts with my Louis Vuitton. Yeah. My Louis. No, I'm just kidding. I mean metaphorical baggage, or actually, I don't mean metaphorical baggage. I mean emotional baggage. The baggage
yeah.
is a metaphor.
I wasn't sure. I was thinking of taking a guess,
Yeah.
but that's because that's my favorite brand. So
Yeah, and I feel like if you're unleashing a lot of your baggage on somebody, I do realize that it probably does happen to some people and they don't realize it. But if you know it and you're releasing like a lot of baggage, I feel like you're just the villain in the relationship. And I don't want to be a villain in the relationship. I want to be a villain in like the real world, but not the relationship.
yeah,
Look how high my
they do get high. I find sometimes if you have a lot to release, that try twerking in the shower.
good idea. I think if I twerked in the shower more, I'd have less stomach pain. Yeah, and I could eat more things that I wanted to eat. All right. Well, let's talk about being alone. And considering if people listen to this podcast up to this point, they'll probably realize why we are alone. But let's talk about being alone. And I think the worst part about being alone for me is going through the grief or stressful situations without somebody. This is where I get so. This is probably one of the ways one of the top reasons why I wish I was with somebody or I had a family. And that is because when certain situations happen in life, whether it's a major event that everybody knows about or it's a personal family event like my mom passing last year, whatever it was, whatever that may be, that's when I'm like, oh God, it'd be great to be in a relationship right now. Like, it'd be great
Yeah.
to have somebody here to like console me, tell me it's going to be okay. As much as I tell myself it's going to be okay, it doesn't mean it's not the same coming from family and friends. When you have that somebody you love and they love you back and they feel that pain and they know that pain, like that's what I really miss. And that's another one of those things where when that kind of stuff happens, I kind of like, I don't know if this is like a bad thing to think, but I feel like it's way harder for me to deal with it than somebody who's got a family and they lose somebody like in their life or something, or they've got to deal with some kind of grief. They've got so
Yeah.
much to like fall back on with people and stuff. And so, and I feel selfish sometimes thinking that I'm like, oh, I feel like those people they have it easier because they have somebody to talk to and I don't really. So what do you think about that? Like, does that make sense? Like, do you get that?
Yeah, I agree. I think that when you're going through a tough time and don't have anybody there, it can be really rough. I also think about, I mean, there's a practical element to this where, I mean, just being alone, like say I'm by myself and I'm doing a podcast and I stick a Jolly Rancher in my mouth and suddenly it slips back into the wrong, it goes into my lung hole and I start choking on it
Yeah.
and I'm there by myself. It's like I don't have anybody,
Yeah.
if I get a fistful of bread stuck in my throat, who's going to be there to lick
Well, the
or you mean
Jolly
the
Rancher will be, but
Yeah, the Jolly Rancher will be waiting for the paramedics. Yeah.
yeah.
It's a little present for them. I think that, yeah, there's statistics that I've read where people who live alone have higher mortality risks, right?
Yeah.
So,
They die, their life expectancy is lower,
and I don't think it's just due to like the stress in the body from depression or anxiety. I think it's also practically like bad things that can happen to you if there's nobody around to help you out.
right?
Sometimes it just leads to the end of your life. If you fall off a
You
ladder
might
and you break,
dismiss health signs that another
that's
person
true.
might be like, "No, I think that's actually something you should get checked out."
There was a time in my father's life, my father died of a heart attack.
Yeah.
There was a time where he was having a heart attack before then, and he was dating somebody, and he was dismissing it as bad heartburn. And his girlfriend had said, "No, you need to get checked out."
Yeah.
And so he did, and they found out it was a heart attack, and he had to get a stint, I think, put in, um, or a stent. Is it pronounced stent? Stint or stent?
It's probably stint. Yeah, I think a stint is like, "Hey, I did a stint in Rikers in like
Yeah.
'85 or something." Like, I think that's what the
Rikers.
stint is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to
So,
Rikers. Shout out to
so
my
the stent,
peeps. Sorry, go ahead.
so the stent was doing a stint inside his artery and keeping blood flow going. So that's just one example of how
Yeah.
living with
Without
somebody.
her, you
When my father
yeah.
passed, by the way, he did die of a heart attack. When he passed, he was alone. And
Yeah.
so nobody knows, and he wasn't found for, I think, a few days after that.
Oh.
So nobody knows if he had died catastrophically necessarily, or if he had died kind of walking around for an hour beforehand thinking, man, my chest kind of hurts, but
Right.
maybe it's nothing.
You don't know if it was the big one that just put him out right away, or the worst kind would be like, "Oh God, was he sitting there suffering on the floor for 2 days like before?" Like that would like suck too. So that'd be
Yeah.
worse, obviously.
Yep.
But yeah, like yeah, that's good. That's good. The practical sense of it, like that's also good. Yeah, it's this. We'll rename this episode "Love, Pain, and Practical Things." I don't know.
Ooh.
We'll work on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So yeah. So but I think it also breaks you down too. Like the more you have to deal with this stuff alone, like not the practical things, but like the emotional things. I'm gonna talk about that part, but I think the more you go through alone, the more it breaks you down, and then the more that could cause health issues and stuff, and just kind of bring you down before it should. And it really sucks. It's really sad that that's how it is, but I mean, I don't know. You can't force people to be with people unless you're in India, right? Then you can get an arranged
There you go.
marriage and pretend
An
you're a
arrangement.
snake and then escape from that arranged marriage. And you got some time if your family thinks you're a snake for like 24 hours. You've got a really big head start on that. But
Yeah, because they have, because they have what they have. They
Yeah.
have
my big
They're dumb.
fat Indian wedding.
they have the disease where they're not smart.
Yeah. The dumb disease.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one of my biggest fears is dying alone, and I feel like that I'm manifesting that in real time, and it's very scary to me.
Why don't you just die with somebody?
Well, that's how I plan going out.
You could take that.
Maybe
in a very
that's why.
dark-
Maybe that's why. Like, there's always murder suicides, right? Like some guy's
That's
just sitting
true,
there, and he's
yeah.
like, "I'm just gonna die alone." He's like, "Wait, I'll take
I
him
don't
with
have
me."
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
You
that's
die with the whole world.
yeah,
when you
that's
do that.
crazy. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't come to that. I don't want to. I'm not gonna
so.
like do that. I don't want to say ever. Like I don't want to say never because you just never know. You just never know what's gonna happen in life.
Justin Bieber.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Anyways,
Did that were you clocking that?
I was trying to figure it out for a second. I don't listen to a lot of Bieber, so
That's
But-
okay.
it's all right. It's all right
Everyone's
if
got
you
their
do. It's
flaws.
all right if you spend 20 hours a day, listening to Bieber and you're part of the fan club and all that. But I'm not there yet. I don't know. All right, let's talk about long-term relationship goals. So this, I guess, is about what we want to achieve now. We've talked about the love and the pain and the heartbreak and the being alone and all that stuff, but what do we want for the rest of our lives? Like, what are our plans? What do we want to do, right? Do we want to continue living like this, or do we want, something better for ourselves? And the sad truth is that I really don't have any goals. And I'm so in my head about it. And I believe that if I can never learn to love myself, then it just won't happen. So I still have hope. I got hope. I want to be in a relationship. I really do. But I don't want to damage another person with like all my bullshit. I don't want to be the one making, how they always have like making, whatever movies. They should have making a villain, like how you make a villain, because this is how it, like, that's how you would do it. Like, you don't want to get all your bullshit, and you could be so fucked up about all your bullshit that you don't even realize how much you're tainting this other person, right, with the same
Yeah.
shit. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to be a part of it. You know what I used to think, and I feel like this is such bullshit. I feel like it might still happen, but what I used to think is that it didn't matter what I felt about me. Somebody was going to come along that I was going to be in so much love with that they would be saving me. Like they would be the ones to save me. They would come along and it'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, that love is so powerful that now I don't care about. Like now I do understand it all. Like it was like a big epiphany. But
Yeah.
and that was, I don't know. That sounds like a fairy tale dream, but um that was the idea that I always had, that like my shitty life would someday have this girl come along and I'd be like, "Oh, it all makes sense now." Like deer in the headlight moment, but that never really happened. So I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. I want to be in a relationship. I really do. I just have so much negativity about it and I just feel like it's never going to happen. I really 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 fucking hope I'm wrong. But what about you?
I want to be. I think soon I'm looking at. I think I'm gonna get back into the dating pool,
You want to be an Oscar
and
Mayer wiener?
yeah, and mostly for the mobile.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
that's
I would like to find somebody that I can get serious about and get married and have children.
yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Have
but I
children
agree. Yeah, have them.
or okay, have them.
Hatch them. I'm gonna hatch them
Yeah,
too.
hatch them.
Um,
Gotcha.
I think that I understand some of the feelings that you're describing too, and because these are things that I've felt quite intensely, where I didn't want to. I felt like I was maybe too broken for somebody else.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, because there is that
How did
fairy
you get
tale
out of
idea.
it? I mean, you might not be fully out of it, but how did you start getting out of it? I will say that you're like, I have obviously other issues going on as well with employment issues and stuff. I've, issues with other physical pain. And I do think that, like, with your current job, I don't know if that made you feel better about yourself, but I am wondering, like, if that
Yeah,
was a big push.
that was one of my biggest insecurities, was my feeling like I couldn't provide
Right.
in a relationship, or that, or even worse, that I would be dead weight financially.
Yeah.
And be an actual force of a negative force in that direction. And I think that even if you find a woman who's non-traditional, there's still something that I think is hard to contend with when you have a man that is negative financial weight in a relationship. And it's something that I've been insecure about. And so it's like, honestly, I mean, this sounds really surface level, but it was one of the biggest focuses of my life, was to reach financial security, because I felt like that was always something that really affected my ability to be confident, or to not be. I mean, like, my own feelings in a relationship that were negative, that stemmed from me not having my own financial security.
Yeah.
But then it also goes into like actual real world effects. Like, if I don't have money, like where are we going to live? Are we going to be able to eat out? Are we going to be able to enjoy small pleasures from time to time? And
That's the eating out.
that's the small. Sometimes it's a big pleasure, if you know what I mean. Oh, anyways, so I think that yeah, so there was all of that. And there's of course my own insecurities, but I think over I've been sort of alone for a certain like substantial period of time. And I would like to think that it has made me very content with who I am and um and so I hope that that's helpful too. But the point that I want to make, I just wanted to make one point. You talking about the fairy tale situation where somebody would save you because I resonate with that. And then but then it's like, then I realized like what's the, like probably one of the most attractive things that I feel like I could do for myself was become the person that could save somebody else in a relationship. And it's not that that's my job to find that relationship where somebody's broken, but I want, it's one of my goals is to be the kind of person where if I had to, I could save somebody else. Um, yeah, and then like, and then taking it back to like a 10,000 foot view, it's like, how did I get here? It's like, for me, it's just taking a ton of responsibility for, for my life and exactly what's wrong with it and being real about it. And then taking action in the direction that I needed to fix it, regardless of how much, regardless of the fears and insecurities that I had along the way. And it's not something that I say like it's not like a throwaway comment that anybody can act on. This is like a multi-year slow
Yeah.
progress thing that
Yeah.
it takes time, unfortunately.
No, I get it. I totally agree with you. I think that like if other things would perk up in my life, if other things would change, I think that that would definitely affect my self-worth. I would think different about myself. I'd be happier and more confident. So I do get it. Like I do think that like just with so many things burdening down on me or what I feel like sometimes, I could understand why, that would be it would be good to do that. But all right. Well, you have any final things you want to say about love and pain?
I just want to say it's about truth. No, it's about trust. It's trust in other things.
In communication, trust and other things. Just trust in other things.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
And also don't be afraid to ask about that spigot because something's going on there.
It is. Something's
Yeah,
happening with that hot, oily hot dog water that is
that's right.
coming out, and it's not good, man. Could be disease water. We don't know. You don't want that. Um, All right. Well, I next week we're gonna be doing some doomsday prepping. But for some doomsday scenario, well, not the scenarios, but we're gonna talk about doomsday prepping. We're talk about bunkers and Archie, not Archie bunker, right? No, other bunkers. We're gonna be talking about the deep cavernous bunkers where you go down there and you wait a few days after a nuclear. Do you wait a few days or do you wait a few years? I don't know. We'll
I
figure
think a
that
few
out.
years.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
let them know. We'll let people know. Um, you know, we'll watch a couple of shows and we'll have some information for you, hopefully. But yeah, I think it'll be fun. We're going to talk about doomsday preppers, and then the following week we're going to talk about end of the world scenarios. I said it again, scenarios. Really get nasally there. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that, and I think it's going to be fun. And we've got some great episodes ahead, so hopefully everybody can get excited about those, and we'll have fun. All right. Well, it's been a great show, and until next time, from us to you, have a wonderful week, and thanks for watching.
Bye.